Hello, good afternoon, welcome to the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. Welcome to a video all about my friend Lee, who is soon to be taking on the 24-hour National Time Trial Championships. Now, I thought I'd start this video by firstly asking, can you hear that? That hoovering noise. Let me know down below if any of you have other halves or people in your lives who are like this. Lee is coming around to the house, but he's going around the outside the house to the back garden. We're going to sit in the back garden, socialise, talk about this event, look at his bike, etc. Then he's going to go home that way. However, Liz has still got to hoover the house, just in case he puts his head in and inspects the property. Ridiculous. Anyway, let's say hi to Lee. Okay, good morning, Lee. Welcome to my back garden.
Very nice, it is.
Yes. So viewers might have seen Lee the last couple of times, most recently fixing a puncture on the side of the road. Sorry about that. So Lee is going to be riding the National 24-Hour TT this year, and he's definitely got to do it now. So I think this is the third video I've mentioned it in, so that's a full commitment.
It's a commitment.
Yeah, but I thought we would just, because I'm going to be documenting the actual event, I thought we'd just take a few minutes just to talk about Lee as a cyclist and his cycling history, because it's pretty good. So Lee, do you want to talk to us a bit about how you got into bike racing and cycling in general?
Yeah, well, I started cycling when I was 12.
Quite late, really, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I guess I started racing when I was 12.
Oh, okay.
So
right.
I was knocking around with my parents from, as early as I could ride a bike, really. My dad used to take me on the back of the tandem before I'd go on my own bike. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I started racing when I was 12 because my maths teacher went on to become the CEO of British Cycling.
Okay.
So we had a school team in South Normanton at Frederick Gents, mm-hmm. And I started doing cyclocross racing. Mm-hmm. And really I just did it for the free Mars bars, I think, because there was a goodie bag at the end. And yeah, I started to enjoy that, and then graduated onto road cycling, and there was some English schools championship that was on Darley Moor. And I turned up and I won it on my mum's work bike.
Excellent.
Which was, pretty crazy. I kind of discovered then I had some kind of ability to do it. I think my first 10-mile time trial was 27 minutes. 27-26 it was at the age of about 14. And then, yeah, it just kind of went from there. I got into time trialing, got a little bit quicker. I guess I really started getting quick when I started mixing it with road racing as well. And I, started doing some road racing, started progressing through the ranks, got a first cat licence when I was living down in Southampton. And I then started to do a few Premier Calendar races. So done the Lincoln Grand Prix a few years, East Yorkshire Classic, Rydale, Tour Doonheim, all of the races. Probably best result was 39th in the East Yorkshire Classic, I think it was. So about 120 miles, spent the day in the same group as Russ Dan and Malcolm Elliott. And yeah, I started to, around that time, do some fast time trials as well. The road racing's took a bit of a backseat more recently, having 2 young children and spending time doing that means that it's sort of more time trials because they're more accessible. I'm not ruling out a return to road racing. I had got my licence ready for last season, but of course it was a write-off. And this year I've not got that back yet. It was kind of a difficult year, not really having anything to train for and anything to aim for, and riding on your own quite a lot. It was difficult to keep the motivation, I think, but I'm certainly feeling motivated about the 24, a little bit underprepared maybe, but I think I know that it's going to be a mental challenge much more than a physical challenge. And I've ridden 3 or 4 12 hours. I know what it's like. You just put yourself in the hurt locker and stay there, really. So it's just going to be about sitting on the bike all day, tapping it out, having a bit of fun. And exactly. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Good. I think you've got to trust in those years and years of training. Although you're not like anywhere near PB shape at the minute, you've got to rest in the fact that you've done years of solid cycling.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in a place where I can sit on the bike and sort of tap out a steady rhythm for a long time, and that's what it is, isn't it? Yeah, of course. Excellent. So I mean, most of my audience are triathletes, so there's a fairly big name in the triathlon world who you were on the same team for a while. Oh, Joe Skipper, yeah.
I understand you've probably got some stories that you might not want to share on the YouTube channel.
I've got quite an entertaining story actually. Me and Joe, we went to do the tour of the reservoir, and we stayed in a hotel together, or a cottage or something, and we were with the team, and the rest of the team, they were kind of sort of really skinny guys, don't really eat a lot, and they'd got this pasta for dinner. And back then, I mean, Joe's lost quite a lot of weight now, but back then he was a little bit bigger, and he ate quite a lot, I remember. And yeah, one of the guys had made this pasta for us, and sort of me and Joe had a bit of a look at it, and we sort of thought, oh, it's not really a big enough portion there. So we wolfed it all down as a bit of a starter. And Joe looked at me and he says, still a bit hungry. And I said, do you know what, I am as well. And the guy that had cooked it, he said, well, there's still some dry pasta in the pan. And me and Joe looked at the pasta and there was no sauce to go with it. The only thing that we had was Nutella. So we went ahead and mixed the pasta with the Nutella, and it turned out to be the perfect pre-race meal.
That is desperation.
Yeah.
Excellent. Of course, you've both gone on to accomplish great things in the world of sport.
Yeah, Joe's doing great, that's for sure.
Awesome. Oh, thanks for that, Lee. Really enjoyable to hear that. Well, I remember we often talk about you did a UCI race, and I can't remember what the name of the race was, in Eastern Europe somewhere.
Yeah, the Tour of Serbia, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so I hope that gives you a bit more background about Lee, but I think we'll also have a quick look at his bike and his bike setup for the 24-hour, because, well, to be quite honest, we've just spent the morning going through like what it's going to be like, trying all these different things to see what it is, because riding a bike for a 10-mile TT is very different from riding for a 24-hour. However, what are you changing about your position for 24 hours?
Nothing.
So, and I went to support at the National 12 last year, and Adam Wilde, who won it, I rammed a camera in his face on the start line and I asked him the same question, and he gave me the same answer. So if you're used to riding your TT bike in a certain position, that's what you stick to. So, yeah. Very good. Okay, shall we have a quick look at your bike?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, here we go then, Lee. Tell us about your Pimping Your Ride.
Yeah, so we're kind of looking at trying to get hydration and storage onto the TT version of the Giant Trinity, which is a bit of a challenge, but we've came up with some ideas that I'm going to test over the coming weeks. We've got the saddle mounted bottle cage, so to get the hydration on the bike, you're going to be looking at bottles behind the saddle. We've also got an aero bottle. We've got a few of these, so we're thinking we'll be able to sort of change them quite easily. So we'll stick that down there. I have the standard giant bottle, but they're quite expensive, so we don't really want to go off and purchase a load of those. And then you might have noticed this thing. So this is Dan's bag that he puts his picnics and his drone in when he's sort of out and about on his adventures. But it doubles up as a perfect storage for the 24. So we're going to sort of extend these straps and tidy this up a bit. But what this is going to give us is plenty of storage for gels, flapjacks, litter, power bank to charge up the Wahoo, and anything else that might be needed during the course of the ride, which just makes it easy. It just saves you having to have pockets on your skin suit or stuff things in your skin suit, and it just makes life very easy, and it's just going to be there and accessible. So I think that's
because you were talking about things like changing skin suits or changing shorts and things, and if you're relying on pockets on your body to do that, there's another thing to worry about. Whereas on your bike, hopefully you're going to be riding the same bike throughout the whole thing, so that should still be there. And in terms of, it's a completely different challenge, isn't it? In terms of being support crew, we know that if Lee stops after how many hours of cycling and he's having a drink or a stretch or something, we're in his bag, litter out, refilling it, etc. We haven't got to be all over him, like beating him up, going in his pockets and stuff. So that
I was quite looking forward to
that. So hopefully that should be a bit easier for us as well. But yeah, nice bike, Giant Trinity, obviously very fast. Lee's ridden some great times on this. You've ridden it, was it 1840?
1845 is my PB. I don't think that was on this bike though. I think I've done 1852 on this bike. Okay. So a slouch. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, hoping for a good day out of the National 24. So let us know down below if you're going to be at the National 24, if you've thought about doing that sort of thing in the past. I have thought about it and then quickly discounted it, but I think the first step is going to support something like this. Lee's done 3 or 4 12-hour TTs. Yeah. So
got a fair bit of experience. I think I perhaps need to do that first before I go to something like this. But I'm absolutely stoked to be part of the support crew. Thank you for having me on board, and also hoping to document it in a cool way for your memories.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks very much.
Nice one. All right. So thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down below, and we'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m.